Today, I drove to a building 20 minutes away and sat patiently for an hour and a half while a movie played. A Girl on a Train was directed by Tate Taylor, Taylor Tate? Tate Taylor, and stars Emily Blunt, Rebecca Ferguson, and Haley Bennett, who in my last video I referred to as Cut Rate Jennifer Lawrence. And I actually spent the first half of this movie wondering if that was Jennifer Lawrence or a different cut rate one until the end of the movie, when I was like, oh, same one. Anyway, A Girl on a Train tells the story of Emily Blunt, Rachel, who got divorced in the backstory of the movie and has not taken it well. She's taken to watching her old house as she drives by it on the train, and one day she gets off the train, blacks out drunk, and now there's a murder. There's an investigation that leads to a murder investigation. I really didn't understand this movie at all. It was a mystery, but I figured it out halfway through, and it wasn't like there were multiple murders. It was just one murder, and it took them an hour and a half to figure it out. Emily Blunt was great. Rebecca Ferguson, IMDb assures me I've never seen any movies that she's been in before, but she looks so familiar. I mostly went to see this movie just to see Rebecca Ferguson because people have been raving about her ever since Mission Impossible, but I'm not going to sit through a Mission Impossible movie just to see her. No, I'll sit through a completely boring Lifetime movie. That's what it was. It was a Lifetime movie. I've seen a disproportionate number of Lifetime movies in my life, and that's what this was. It was, the man was the villain, and there was affairs and sex, and oh my God, it was just, it really didn't need the budget or the time that it took. Conan Edogawa could have solved that mystery in a half hour. It was slow and it built, not necessarily suspense, because as I said, it was easy to figure out. Like, they tried to throw a couple red herrings in there, and one of them they cheated on. But like, it was confusing at first because I was trying to figure out what Emily Blunt's connection was to Haley Bennett's character, Megan, who was the murder victim. Because it was like, in the beginning, she rode by the house every day on the train, and she said that it was her favorite house, and she had a connection to the woman who was living there, and that was Haley Bennett. That was Megan. But a couple houses down is her old house where her ex-husband lives with his new wife, Rebecca Ferguson, Anna. I didn't understand why she cared about Megan at all when her entire connection to the house is a couple houses down. And then she saw Megan with another man who wasn't her husband, and she started freaking out about that. I just don't get it. I thought that maybe I was just confusing them because Megan and Anna had blonde hair. I thought I was making a mistake there, but it turns out that was a plot point later on in the movie, that she had mistaken the two blonde people, which again, I noticed immediately. Another red herring was that she was allegedly sleeping with her psychiatrist, which they cheated by making him very hands-on in certain scenes. Like, I guess canonically it was supposed to be innocent, but it wasn't. Not from perspective of Emily Blunt, not from my perspective in the audience. It was like a piece of completely false evidence that the movie presented just to throw me off, and all it did was serve to confuse me even more. Because it was an easy mystery that once you figured it out, you're like, I have to be wrong. There's got to be something else, and nothing else happened. It just was a series of cheating. Love her. One man cheating on two women. I don't know if the third one counts as being cheated on if she's like the mistress, but it doesn't matter. So I don't have a whole lot more to say on that. I would say that it's not good. I mean, it was, I don't know film theory. I was in film school for 2 weeks, so I don't know if this was good or bad, but I can say I didn't enjoy it. Just enjoyed Emily Blunt and Rebecca Ferguson, and Edgar Ramirez. He was pretty good too. I'll tell you a couple other things I watched this week since I got the time. In order of ascending interest, I watched. I watched The French Connection, which I didn't like because I don't know. Maybe it was better in the '70s, but it's nothing new, nothing I haven't seen, nothing impressive. Just a young Gene Hackman and that guy from Lost from Jaws. Frig, what's that guy's name? It doesn't matter. And then I saw The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy, which I didn't hate, but it was really boring. But I think that's how good horror should be, is it's got to bore you or not. Well, for normal people it wouldn't be as boring, but for me it was pretty unpleasant. I enjoyed the setting. I loved the characters, how they were very accurate, or at least if not accurate, at least convincing with the northern British accent. Ralph Ineson rocking that. Was it Leeds? I think that was a Leeds accent. I saw Brazil. Terry Gilliam's Brazil. That was really good. High Sparrow was in that from Game of Thrones. It was just really long. I think I might have seen a director's cut if there is one. It was, yeah, because that was long and a little unfocused. Um, and the best movie I've seen this week, or indeed possibly even the year, was Swiss Army Man. That was a fantastic movie. Um, it was sad. It was funny. It was philosophical and absurd, and I understood it. It was a movie that spoke to me on a lot of levels. So that one I would suggest more than anything else. Short, very well paced. Like the whole thing just flowed like a river. An hour and a half later, it's done. I'll give this review cluster, this sprock fund of reviews, a rest, and let you guys get on with your day. I'm sure you have better things to do. Sayonara.